Hi everyone, hope you're all having a great day. Today I want to do a few thank you cards, and the reason I'm making these, they're for teachers. So school's coming to an end for the summer break, and I always make my thank you cards. So I wanted to show you some quick ways of using sentiment dies to create thank you cards. So I'm going to do two cards, quite feminine looking, and I'll do two masculine. And I know it's really hard to make cards for men. Well, I find it anyway. I find the masculine cards quite difficult to do, but I'm going to show you really simple ways of creating a couple of card designs. So what you're going to need are some nice sentiments, and these are from Tonic Studios. This is a thanks die, and it's sentiment strip die, and they've come out with quite a lot of sentiments. So I think if you're into your card making, you definitely need some sentiment dies. I think they just finish off a card, and if not as a finishing point for a card, they can just be a focal point. So that's how I'll be using my dies today. And this one just says many thanks, and it's a really nice size die. I have already cut my pieces out, but I just want to show you how nice and ornate this die is. So this one says many thanks, and I'll put the link to Tonic Studios below where you can go and search for many sentiment dies. So the first two cards I'll be doing are the feminine cards. So for those two cards, I've just pulled out some paper pads. So I've got the Misty Rose 6x6 from Prima. I've also got the note cards by 4x6 and the smaller 3x4 note cards. So I've already cut my pieces out, and both the cards are going to be 4x6. So this is my card base. It's a top fold landscape 4x6 card, and these are my layers. So really simple way of constructing a card is using lots of layers. So I'm going to create by putting some patterned layers down, and that's just going to give some interest and obviously the prettiness of the actual card. So I'm using dry adhesive today because I don't want the papers or the card to buckle, and I've already put my adhesive on the back today just for speed, because I'll be doing 4 cards with you today just to show you how quick and easy it is to construct. So with this card I've got the floral background, and then I've got this like, it's almost like a watercolor effect in green, like this mint green tealy kind of a color. So that's going to sit in the middle here. And then I've got another one from this is from the note card, and I've put some foam pads behind here, and I'm just going to remove the backing of those. And this is the only layer with a bit of dimension because I want them to go in envelopes. I can't, I don't have time to make boxes for these cards. And when it comes to school cards, or when you're making, bulks of cards, maybe it's a good idea to make cards that would just fit into standard envelopes, which these will. I mean, can you imagine me just sitting there making envelope boxes? Nope. So I enjoy making cards for the teachers, whatever the occasion, and it's a nice feeling to give them something handmade as well. So that's going to sit here in the middle. So that's how that's looking. So that's the only layer with a bit of dimension. And then here's my sentiment that I've cut out, and this is the many thanks die. So I'm just going to grab some wet glue for this. So I'm going to grab a bit of paper, add some glue here, and then dip the back. So with this die, I've actually cut it out 3 times onto medium white card, medium weight, so it's about 150-ish, and then it's given me like a thick chipboard effect die. So I'm just going to put that in the middle and just give this a push down. Okay, so that's my first card done, and you can see because I've laid it up a few times, it gives that nice dimension. So I'm going to put that to one side, and then I'm going to go on to the next one. So again, I've prepped the same way, same card size, base layer is going to be the same as the first card, and I've just changed up a bit of the colours. So this is going to sit here. Then I've got pink this time instead of the green, which was there. And that's going to sit in the middle of here. So I'm doing it exactly the same way, just changing up the colour variations. And then I've picked out a different note card this time with the flower clusters and the stripes on this one. So this is more green than this one, so I've just switched it around just for a bit of interest. And play around with papers that you have, and if you don't have pretty papers, create some, like I'm going to do on the next cards that I'm going to show you, the masculine cards. You can create your backgrounds to add that kind of effect as well. So let's get these off. Last couple. Honestly, I hate these. I think I need to buy more of the rolls. I'm running out of my rolls, and these foam pads, I just hate taking the backs off. So this will sit, I think I'll have the flowers going the same way, maybe. No, I think I'll have the flowers on this one sitting on the top, so this will go like that. And then I've got my thanks here. Again, I've done the same thing. So the sentiment strip die that I've used, all I've done is cut the strip out without the shadow layer, and then I've just snipped the ends off just to leave me with a thanks. And I've done this 3 times as well to create that that chunky die cut look. Dip that in the glue, and then this will go here. So these are my 2 quick feminine thank you cards, just using the sentiment dies as the focal point, and they came out really great. So now I'm going to quickly move on to the masculine cards, which is slightly more difficult to do. So the first thing I've done is prep my card base, and I'm just going to zoom in a tad more. So this is like lime greeny polka dot cardstock, and it's a hunky dory one, so it's a great weight. And again, it's a 4x6 card, and I've made my layers. So I want to stick with the color themes of like blues and greens, and the other couple of things that I've picked out are these. So I've picked this Nuvo hybrid ink pad, and this is the pistachio green, so I'll be using this with this card. And I didn't have a pistachio green for this amazing product. It's called Falling Leaves, and these are shimmer powders, and this creates amazing effects which I can't wait to show you. So I'll show you that in a second. So let's create the first card first. So I'm going to put my layers down first. So again, I've got my backs ready prepped, and this is from the same card pack from Hunkadori. It's a blue, and it's got this like a pearlescent shimmer to it, and this is going to just sit on the top here, just giving me a tiny green frame like that, just a bit of pop of color. I've already die cut my thanks, and this time I'm using the shadow and the word. So I'm just going to put these 2 aside for a second, and I'm going to work on this piece here. So I want to use my hybrid ink, and because I don't know why I find cards for men really hard to do, I decided I'm going to create a background. So I've got this stencil, and this is, I believe it's a Kaisercraft stencil. I've had it for such a long time, and I'm trying to figure out which bit of the pattern I want on it. So I'm just going to go in, not direct with the ink pad, because I want a bit more of a smooth finish, and I don't want it too intense. I've got a brush here, and these are some, I've got rare earth brushes. So I'm just gonna grab a bit of ink, and I'm not gonna go all the way. I want to kind of catch the center, and then it's gonna leave me behind this beautiful design, like a damask design. And these inks are really nice, very smooth again, and very intense, and they are reactive, so I can go in and put some water on and make it more distressed looking. But that's not the look I'm going for today. I'm going for a smooth kind of a look. So smooth off the edge, get rid of the harsh lines that I'm creating just by swirling my brush around and finishing it off. So I'm not going right to the edge, I'm just gonna add a bit more here. So it's going to leave a light brushed effect on the edge. I'm going to move my hands, close my ink pad, and this is what I'm left with. So it's quite nice, and it's, you know, it's not masculine nor feminine. It can be for anybody, this card. And this is going to sit here, and then I'm going to have my thanks probably down here. So I think I'll have this like that and have that here. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add my tape on here, and again I'm using double-sided tape. I'm not using wet glue because I don't want it to crinkle or warp. So this is the way to go, and it's really quick as well. And this is just some finger lift tape that is available anywhere online. Just need to search finger lift tape. So I'm going to have the lighter bit to the bottom corner here, and again I'm going to create a tiny frame like that, and then I'm going to add my thanks here, but it is a tiny bit longer than what I want, so I'm just gonna, I'm thinking I think I might leave it actually. It just creates a bit more interest. And on the back of here I'm going to add some foam, so my sentiment will have a bit of dimension. And for this I'll just use, I have got some double-sided tape which is a bit thinner, but I think I'm just going to cut this down and just create some strips with some of this, the pads. So I'm going to get my tacky scissors, which are already damaged because I use them for gluey things, and I don't need a huge amount. So I'm going to go in and put some here, and I'm not going to go right to the end because don't forget it does peek out a tiny bit. And then maybe cut this last one down a bit, because I need a tiny bit here, and then a tiny one just here, and then I'm going to put this on. So on this I'm going to add a tiny bit of wet glue because I don't want it to drop off, because the foam pads aren't huge, and I don't want the risk of that dropping off. Okay, so I'm just going to add a bit of wet glue to the back of the foam, and then I'm going to sit this towards the bottom here like that, and that finishes the first masculine card. So it can be masculine or feminine, and you know, it just looks nice and fresh. So that is that one. Now the next one I want to do, I've created the same card base and I've got the same layer, which I'm going to go ahead and put on, and then this is going to create that green frame that we have on the first masculine card. So that's that. And then I've already cut the many thanks, and this time I've done it in white with a blue shadow. So I'm going to put these two aside for a second, and I'm going to work on my top layer. So what I've done, I've already prepped it, but I want to show you what I've done. Let me just move these up. Let me just grab my water. I'm going to spritz, this is watercolor card, and I'm going to just spritz it with some water. Move these out of the way a bit. Okay, so that's just some water on it, and then you get this Nouveau shimmer powder. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. So it's called Falling Leaves, and it gives this amazing green and blue effect. I'm going to keep some tissue next to me just in case it goes a bit wild. Okay, so I've already prepped one, but I want to show you how this works. So all you do is just tap and create like little firework explosions of color. And it's got this green, this amazing blue. It's just amazing. You can see straight away how that's working. And the more you add, the more intense it's going to go. And then if you've done adding your colour, you can actually go in with some more water and make it a bit more intense. So have a look at what happens now. So it just goes more intense, and when it dries, it gives this amazing shimmer, like of the blue and the green. It's just such an amazing product. I absolutely love it. There's lots of colours available in these powders, and I think I'll do more future demos with this. So I'm just going to put this to one side because I've already prepped one, which is right here. So this is mine, and it's already dry. I want to show you the intense colour that it gives off, and I left this to dry naturally, only because, you know, I had time. I made it and I left it to dry. So the only thing left to do on this one is just to catch the edge with a bit of ink, so it just finishes the edge. So I'm using that same ink pad I used on the first masculine card, and I'm just going to finish this card off. Okay, and then this is going to sit in the middle of this one, which we've already prepped, and I've already got the backing on here. I absolutely love this. I think I'll have it this way, and then I'm going to create a tiny border like this. This is amazing, and my many thanks is going to just sit here in the middle. So I'm going to grab some paper again and add some glue to this. So it's going to go in, and because this is so fine, obviously I can't have it on dimensional foam pads, so I'm just going to have no height to this card, but it's got so much interest it doesn't really need it. And then this is going to go bang in the middle and just sit like this. So that is another one. So I'll show you the quick cards that I've done today. So these are the two masculine cards. Well, I'm calling them masculine. You can have them for whatever, you know, whoever you like. And then these are the two feminine cards that I did. So you can see those sentiment dies, they just work amazing. I'm just going to zoom out a bit so you can see them. So you can see how they work, and I think the sentiments are the focal points of these cards, and they just create enough on the card, so you don't need to go crazy with embellishments and flowers and ribbons and lace. So I think they came out really adorable. Hope you like these quick 4 cards. Definitely give them a go. Check out all the products, and I'll put a link to where you can find these dies and the amazing shimmer powders as well from Tonic Studios. So happy crafting, enjoy making your thank you cards for your teachers, and I'll see you soon. Take care, bye.